I was crying every day in a week we'll have multiple calls, and after every call I'll cry, and it will take me 2 days to recover from that call, and then again there will be another call and I'll cry. You talk about some of the terms and all of that, which is the theory part, but at the same time they come with your experience and your expertise. Like for example, yesterday when you was talking about raising funds and how right now you don't have like the vision and all of that thing doesn't work, you have to show track. For me, I'm a single mom, so I have responsibilities, but I'm the only one who is the bread earner for me and my son. So I don't have that thing, and I think this is the only way I could venture out, because for the last
How
2
do
years.
these NGOs get to connect with you? How do you approach them?
So there is a NGO, there is a WhatsApp community where there are several groups where, like one would be the IT for NGO, one would be the data for NGO, one would be HR for NGO. So I am in a part of all of this.
Hi, Piyali, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Great. So we are getting to dive into the topic right now. I just want to know, what is your business about, and what do you do?
So I have been working in the nonprofit sector in different tech capacity for the last 10 years. And in my last role, I was the CTO, and I was working with multiple NGOs at the time as a fractional CTO, because nonprofits will not have the time to hire a full-time CTO most of the time. And after that, I have decided to start my own venture where I would be supporting nonprofits with tech consulting. When I say tech consulting, what I mean is that there are many software companies that exist in the nonprofit sector. But at the same time, these companies have started as a software company, and they don't have the experience of working within an NGO space as an employee. And hence the solutions that they provide are not kind of well thought through. Like, for example, if I'm suggesting a tool for a organization, it doesn't mean like the tool might work, but at the same time, there are many things that also have to be ensured, like whether the people are will be able to capable enough or skilled enough to be able to using the tool, how much time and energy will the change management need, and all of that. These are things that the external software companies are not considering, and they are just going ahead and building platforms for them. And another thing that's happening very wrongly, I guess, is non-profits go ahead and start doing this software development project without understanding the time, efforts, and the expertise it needs. And after 1 or 2 years, they end up exhausting their resources and their energy, and they have a product which is kind of doesn't work or semi-work. Whereas the proper solution that I suggest to them is to do a thorough market research about what you need, and if there's something existing in the market, even if that meets 80% of your requirement, you are better off using something that's existing and someone else is developing, because you guys don't have the expertise to go through the software development life cycle and all of that. So I guess so as a service, what we would do, I would do tech capacity building. So if you have existing employees and they are like kind of computer friendly, I would be able to, my team would be able to train them, creating low code platforms, creating automations, creating low code websites, dashboards, and all of that. So tech capacity building, so that reliance on external software vendor decreases, and also if you have some skills within the organization, the possibilities of the NGOs making the correct choices will be increasing. So tech capacity building for NGOs who doesn't have tech team or team that has the bandwidth, we will also do low code platform development, or like configuring low code solutions for them. But while we also manage the implementation. So another thing that software developers don't do, they build a platform and they leaving you with a platform that you don't know how to, like you haven't built that, right? And how will you be able to manage the entire change within the organization without actually having the know-how and all? So we will also do tech implementation, which needs a lot of people management, people skill assessment, and then thoroughly planning like the training and implementations with the team. So we do tech implementation, and last but not the least, I would also do website development and website related trainings for the NGOs. Yeah.
And how do these NGOs get to connect with you? How do you approach them?
So there is a NGO, there is a WhatsApp community where there are several groups where, like one would be the IT for NGO, one would be the data for NGO, one would be HR for NGO. So I am in a part of all of those groups, and in the meantime, my LinkedIn also has a very like good follower base and the good connections with the leaders in the non-profit sector, and also people who are working in the non-profit sector. So as of yet, my like I have launched in August only. 7th August was like the official launch,
Oh, wow.
and as of it hasn't been a month, but as of yet, I touch wood, I have got good leads. I have around 7 that I'm counting on, and all of these are organic. So I haven't paid. I have posted on LinkedIn. I have
Mm-hmm.
posted on WhatsApp groups, and
Mm-hmm.
and also I, for this particular business, I have decided to I've not raise funds per se, but at the
Wow.
same time, I'm not going to raise funds. I'm not going to spend in marketing. It's completely a bootstrap, and I'll start small and grow big, and that's how it's going to be. Yeah.
Great, outstanding. So, what were the biggest hurdles that you came across while you were starting in planning, in strategies? What was your experience, real life experience?
I would say the most challenging part for me is like the time management, because when I have this organization that I just started, I also work part-time as the part-time CTO with an international organization and a non-profit only. So I spent 2 days working with them, and the remaining 3 days in a week try to spend on my business. And for me, the biggest challenge has been like me not being the full-time CEO and also still spending some time with another organization, because I have to pay my bills at the end of the day. Uh,
Mm,
th- so I think like the time management bit, because like I think that also comes from a personal situation as well. Like I have also seen many founders, like women founders or male founders, when they go ahead and start doing a venture, they might have two persons earning before, and then they decides to maybe move to one person's earning and manage their expenses or limit their expenditures and all of that. For me, I'm a single mom, so I have responsibilities, but I'm the only one who is the bread earner for me and my son. So I don't have that thing, and I think this is the only way I could venture out, because for the last 2 years I have been planning, and I started doing small things, but I couldn't reach to the finish goal, because that time I was working full day, like 5 days a week, and
mhm,
I just didn't have the time, energy, or anything left. Like yeah, initially I would start with a couple of weeks I'll be able to give time, but I wasn't able to give constant time. So, and I have been planning to start since 2 years, but I think with this type of setup where I at least have like literally written 3 days off with me, I think that is what's working for me, and I think that has been the biggest challenge, to be able to launch it while also making sure that I'm catering to my responsibilities towards me and my son. Yeah.
wow, wow, that's really inspiring. I would also like to know what made you, come to a position where you choose to leave your job or choose to come into a full-time business. Now, you don't have that yet, but will be doing that. But does this spark come from? Is it monetary thing? Is it freedom? What was it? What it is that is motivating you to do that?
I think it was both. It was both monetary and freedom, and I'll tell you like some of the things that I'm trying to achieve. Like I like, for example, with a 9 to 5 job, and when you work for someone else, like they're hiring you to do what their vision is, and sometimes you might not align with it. Sometimes you not align with the approach. So for me, I think the challenge was like, and also my earning potential always like when I'm working for someone, my earning potential was always dependent on what someone's opinion about me. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
like it wasn't black and white. Like give me the targets, I reach it, because I'm a very competitive person. If
Hmm.
you tell me, if you sit with me, tell me these are 10 things you achieve, you get this. I will jump through all the hoops and reach there. But I found myself in situation where I was like in the organizations in my past experiences that there was nothing black and white, and at the end of the year when the appraisal happened, when the increment happened, it's all based on someone's opinion about me, and I wasn't okay with that.
Oh.
Like I do believe I deserve something, and I thought like and I wasn't able to like the management obviously wasn't really they had other opinions about me, and for me that was opinion until and unless you have like black and white proofs that I haven't been able to meet my targets. If you there's a black area around me meeting my targets because the targets were not defined, so let us define the targets. But I could never go to a point or with organization that I've worked with that where I have very clear targets and goal, and I'm like judged on that and not based on someone's opinion. And so my earning potential was something that I think I was deserving more than what I was getting, but there was no way for me to kind of get through that because there was no written target, there was no written KPI. It was all like very subjective, someone's opinion. So I think that was something that I've always struggled with. Second thing, I also want to like I also do want to like kind of like save up my retirement money and then retire early. And yeah, I think that's something that's a very trending thing nowadays. And retire early and do what I want to do. When I say retire early, I don't think I'm someone who will sit idle ever. But at the same time, I would like to do what I want to do, not for the money, just because it makes me feel good. And I'm not in a position right now. We all the most of the working class professional are working for to survive as well as the other things. So I really don't want to. I want to do things for passion and not only for money. And I have many things that I'm passionate about, but I don't have time nowadays, including spending more quality time with my son, touchwood, which I think I do try to do. But yeah, I think there's scope for improvement as well. So I guess freedom, the earning potential, and also like being my own boss is always something because to be honest, every people I was to report to and the organization that I work for, after a certain point, it didn't feel like that people I was reporting to was I should be reporting to them. And
So your experience
so
overgrew their experience, basically, on-field experience.
exactly. But at the same time, they were the one who was telling me that I how much I will be getting paid, how much if I'm performing according to their unsaid expectation, because obviously nothing was on paper. So it
Uh,
wasn't like I think all of these mixed, all of this like growing my earning potential to be able to save up money for my retirement more and more, however much possible, to be able to be my own boss, to be able to also like yeah, like not able to see how the management or how someone is managing is right for that role. Or like I had questions, and I'm a someone very opinionated, and I had questions and people were not able to answer those questions. So it's just so I wanted to start it from the last 2-3 years, and it has like I took very small steps towards a couple of other businesses as well. But yeah, 2 months back when I resigned my current role, and I was like kind of went to the market and started looking for the role. Then I got this offer from the organization who said like we'll give you a part-time role, and I was like okay, that makes sense. I think with this part-time role now I can also like pay my bills while I will also be able to launch my business. So yeah, that's how 2 months back when I kind of resigned, and I think it kind of was a blessing in disguise, because if I wouldn't have resigned and if I wouldn't have went through like some those things, I think I still would be like in a 9 to 5 job or getting my bills paid and all of that. I got that fear, and that actually motivated like let's take the step. If abhi nahi hoga to kabhi nahi hoga, kind of that. I was on this.
you are such an inspiration. I just want others to know from you. It took a decision that you want to switch or come to your business. You were
Yeah,
into a stable business, a stable job where you were earning bread for your
yeah,
son and yourself. And it is the most important thing for your life right now to have the stability for your son. What
yeah.
gave you that kick, that booster shot that actually, I should actually pursue my business and risk my stability? That is the biggest fear in anyone who is doing job. And people through you should understand how does someone come to a point like ab to kar dena hai.
I don't think I was able to take the risk till the time things went little bit showered in the last organization. And so I'll just be, and I'll not go into detail, but I do think like what happened like before resigning, like my side of the story, I also believe they might have their like everyone will have their side of the story. But in my sense, what happened like the organization that I was working for was really great. They were also working for the sector, the social sector, and the intent was really good. but at the same time, the way they're approaching their employees was not the right way. So the way that like the feedback call, the weekly catch up call with the manager that I was reporting to was always like the tone, the way it was like literally like to say the late, it wasn't something that I take as I would take that behavior from anyone. And but at the same time, I was sticking for the last 2 months while it was happening. And like we would get to these calls where it's kind of a feedback, but it's kind of like gets heated. People start kind of like giving their voice will get raised and all of that. And
Mm-hmm.
it kept on happening for 2 months, and I was kind of giving, still trying to work it out, because I was trying to obviously, because it's I have to do something to be able to surviving as. And I
Mm-hmm.
and I like that job. It's just that the only thing that I wasn't liking is the approach. The mission was great, the intent was great, the approach, with particularly with me, I don't know with others, because that I didn't have visibility around what was happening with others when
Mm-hmm.
the management was talking to them. But in terms of me, I wasn't liking the behavior that was I was getting, the way they talk, they go about feedbacks, and way they go about correcting you. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't something that I personally was okay with. And after 2 months, I kind of decided to quit. And after I resigned and I had like a 1 month notice, I was freaking out, to say the least. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
but I thought I will, like, I was crying every day. I'll just tell
Mm-hmm.
you that. I was crying every day after like, yeah, in a week we'll have multiple calls, and after every call I'll cry. And it will take me 2 days to recover from that call, and then again there will be another call, and I'll cry on the call after the call. So it
Oh my
wasn't
God.
something that I wanted to be in that zone.
Oh, oh. So now that you have learned hiring through the
Yeah.
session that we have done, do you think the process of hiring, the psychology behind hiring that we discussed during the hiring session, do you think that should be applied? Because you being in on the other side, the receiving end, now you are on the side where you will be hiring people. Do you think the process or the psychology that we use is the right psychology in which people should be hired?
So the problem was not on hiring. The problem was like the hiring. I'm completely okay with people approaching it differently. People have different style. Like for example, someone can ask you to work for 2 days or one day. Someone will hire you based on trust, and then if they had to fire you, they'll fire you and all of that. So I don't think for me hiring was the problem. I think the problem was that the management was not trained to be managers. So that's
Mm-hmm.
the problem, and that has been a problem. I have seen that repeatedly, that the people who are in the position, for example, even for me, I am not someone who is a trained HR professional who would
Mm-hmm.
know how to deal with people, who is actually trained to be like the managers or leaders, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then people screw up, because then their personal styles comes up, the
Mm-hmm.
personal conflict management style, and it
Mm-hmm.
varies from different to different people. But at the same time, when you are in a workspace, and when you are there are certain protocol that you should follow. So I do think, like, currently I don't have a full-time team. I work with some consultants as a moment, because I just started. But when I'm going to have like in the process of having my team, I would actually be very crucial about like how the feedbacks are given, if the KPIs are set. These are
Mm-hmm.
things that hasn't been in place in earlier in my experiences. If the KPIs are not clear, and you are just like saying that you don't like that person's face, like I'm not saying
Mm-hmm.
someone said me that, but in general, like if you haven't decided on a KPI, and all of a sudden you say, why haven't you done that? Like
Mm-hmm.
when was this discussed? So a lot of time, I think management, I have seen management, they think that things that are unsaid, and just because you are in a certain position at a CTO role, you get them. You don't.
Mm-hmm.
Human has, like, what's in your mind, I would not know until and unless you very explicitly say, this is what I require from you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, this is a very common mistake that people keeps doing, like expecting other people to read their mind. Nobody is a mind reader. You
Mm-hmm.
have to explicitly say the roles, no matter how senior they are. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
Uh,
I really want to fix after onboarding process, not like before. I don't think hiring was a problem at all.
okay. Okay. I would also like to know that how important do you think this, like the strategies that we are learning on the daily basis, how do you think these strategies impact a business? Should a person strategize first and then act, or should a person act first or then make the strategies? What's your opinion on that?
I think it's a mix of both. Like, for example, if you like, I think that was also one of the reasons that I couldn't launch like for last 2 years, because I was trying to get to a perfect position where
Hmm.
I have a plan noted
Hmm.
down, I have a pitch deck, I have a kick-ass website, I have all the registrations done. If
Hmm.
you're waiting for the day when you get perfect on your planning and then you start, you might never will be able to start.
Yeah.
So you just do some initial planning and start and learn things and like do along the way. And that I
Hmm.
think I have done also from my last organization. I
Hmm.
was working for them, and but I realized when I entered that everything, the processes and everything is not set up, and that's okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's okay to not have too many processes set up already and
Hmm.
learn as you go. And I guess that was the biggest learning that I got from, apart from everything else, that I
Hmm.
got, that you don't have to be perfect, you don't have to have everything figured out.
Hmm.
Do your basic maths, like maybe talk to some relatives, talk to like some friends, like who will give their unbiased opinion. And if it
Hmm.
clicks for you, if it clicks for people that you know and they're saying, yeah, you can do that, why not? Like, and also like even if people think you don't do it, you shouldn't always take it personally, because they don't know what your vision is. So you
Hmm.
sometimes you also have like people don't agree with what you're doing, but at the same time, if you have a vision, and if you want to give it a try, give it a try.
Yeah.
Like,
So apart from that, you are in the process of learning business strategies from me. What is your experience, and how do you think I teach? What Just tell me about your experience.
so, like, yes, it's been like 4 5 days, and it's been amazing to say the least. Like, for example, someone like me who doesn't have a business degree, I have like computer science degree and master's degree, but at the same time, I haven't learned business from any MBA school or even any small courses or anything like that. What I have
Hmm.
learned so far is from practical, seeing other people running business. But I think what I'm getting from you is a lot of things are of based on theory and practical both, because you have that experience.
Yeah.
So they're not only theory that a business school will give, like all the terms, all the jargons and all of that, you have to
Hmm.
show revenue to
Hmm.
get funding. That actually comes from experience. And like, yeah, like if you go by old books, that might even say that you can give uh, pitch based on a vision, based on a plan that you have, but that's not the reality of today. So I do think that what you give is a lot more than just what a MBA degree or a book would do, because it also comes from very personalized experience, and you have done it yourself. So hence, I do really trust when you say all of that, because I know that you have gone through that and you have learned from those experiences.
How tough or difficult was it to understand what I was teaching? Did you find it tough to understand or implement it somewhere, or was it easily applicable or understandable?
For me, all of the things that you talked about as of yet, they were like none of them I would say tough. Uh, all of them were explained in a very easy manner, in a way uh, that I was able to connect to it, and I would also able to learn and like get why it is important. So I got the concept, and while you were explaining the concept, I could also understand that why this is important. So I do think like the teaching method that you're following and the way you're planning your sessions, they're okay, they're good, they're good.
All right, thank you. I This last thing I want to know from you. What do you think? How important it is for people in India, especially? So I'm a person who is very patriotic, you know that, and I just want to know how important do you think, not only from me but otherwise also, do you think is it important for people to learn business strategies in depth before leaving the job, like leaving their first financial source, the primary financial source? Is it good for them to learn strategies and then act, or probably just jump into the water and then learn to swim?
I do think that everyone's risk taking appetite is different. So this answer will vary on which phase of life you are. So if you are like in 20s and you don't have many dependents, and you're including your mom and dad, or your family doesn't depend on your earning and they can survive without your earning, jump into the ocean. You will learn more from the ocean than anything else. But at the same
Very
time,
true.
someone in their 30s who have a family, like not also not the by the age, like someone in their 25s can also be married and have responsibilities, or
Yeah.
may not be married but still have to look after their family, mom, dad, and all of that. So I would say the approach based on your risk appetite. If you're in a phase of life that you can afford to take some risk and nothing is like, you're not coming in street just because you're taking the risk, go ahead and experiment. That's the best way to learn anything, I would say. If
Great.
you can't afford, you have to actually take calculated risk the way did, I guess.
All right. So this is it. I would like to thank you for your time and your sharing your experience. Just before you end up, if someone else joins me to learn from me, what is one suggestion that you would like to give that person in terms of focusing on learning everything, or in terms of how they should look at this course? How should
Yeah.
they learn from me?
I think it's a 7 days course, and obviously, if you have a job or if you are running your business, it might get a little tiring. So make sure when you are signing up or when the date that you pick are aligned with your planning, and you have to make time for the 7 days, right? And if you like, just make sure that you kind of get extra help during that time so that you can focus on learning. For me, I call my sister to come and play with my son when I'm taking the classes. So I'm just like, take the extra support or like plan your day, because you need to focus on the learning uninterruptedly. So make
Mhm.
sure that your personal business is taken care of while you are learning this, and because it's like you need this learning. So just make sure that you make yourself free and available in those 7 days. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Piyali. It was really inspiring to know from you. What you're doing is very inspiring, and you have a great product market fit already. So all the best for your future, and we will be connected in future as well.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Akash. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.